Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Titan's Fall. Playing over the side as the Tau Empire, we've got Bad's El Bandido. Playing on the other side as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got DANTIST. DANTIST will be opening with triple Cultist, a Chaos Temple, and a Plasma Generator. Whereas El Bandido is going to go for triple Stealth Suit Teams, a Jetpack Research, Aircraft Builder, and a Tau Barracks. Now, this is one of the few matchups for the Tau Empire, where going for Croots in the early game is actually quite useful. Croot Carnivore squads able to come along and bash up loads of cultists, especially on a map like this, where they're quite often on their own, unsupported, capping critical locations and these strategic points far flung from their home base. And any kind of deaf meat or floor lasagna that they leave on the ground, they are able to eat up and increase their health. And are you actually going for it before I go into... Yeah, you are going to go for some Croot Carnivores. So, no point in me talking about Croot Carnivores for a bajillion million years if it's not actually going to go for them. I'm going to see a Chaos Lord and some Unholy Sight, which will allow the cultists to spot any of the Stealth Suit teams knocking around. It will also prevent them from doing any decapping shenanigans if they jump on top of one of these spaces as well. So, very nice use of the cultists right there. Yeah, it's all going to be about how El Bandido is going to be able to use these Croot Carnivores in the right-up stages of the game. Interesting that DANTIST has not gone for Raptors straight up. Sometimes you will see a Chaos player go for Raptors when they're going against Tau. One, because if you see Croots, then you can bash the Croots in close combat with them relatively effectively. And if they instead go for Fire Warriors, well, then the Raptors just go up to the Fire Warriors and bash them in the face with much greater levels of success. Chaos Lord up, quite a powerful bolt pistol. Can take down a model or two with relatively few shots. But these guys are going to be coming over and in range stance to focus down the heretics. They're always very fragile, are these heretics, as they're usually used to their dance hard ability, which cost them their health, but to build up things a little bit quicker, then does make them a lot easier to snipe out. And the cultists think about engaging close combat, but as we say, they do a great job. Thankfully, the Chaos Lord has took pity on them and said, right, okay, fine, you can't win this engagement, I most certainly can. Whilst going on, we are seeing the cultists going a bit toe-to-toe with these guys, preventing them from capturing their relic, which is quite useful. So a bit of cross-map harassment from both players here. Seeing a Stealth Suit rocking on over onto this side. Will he be able to decap it by the time? I think he's going to completely ignore it, to be honest. Not worth it. One single model with only 250 health. Then again, the Croots are coming in. Going to see if they can sort them out with their bamboo shotguns, or whatever you would call them. I'm sure you Tau lore aficionados know the name of the gun, if it even does have a name. There's the Tau commander, doing the anime, jumping around, spinning, and having a grand old time at it. Cultist up, the moment they spot that Stealth Suit team, he runs straight on over, stabbing him in the back, but not really doing that great amount of damage, not on his own anyway. Gosh darn it, he's going to give it a go. He's the cultist that tried, the cultist that failed, but you know what? They say that first attempt in learning, that's the acronym for fail. That's what I tell my students anyway at school. Whether it makes you cringe internally, it certainly makes me do, but, you know, when you get observed in a lesson, when Ofsted come round and start marking you down, that's the kind of stuff you want to say to be able to keep your job. But take Auspex right here, so you can spot, not only see them in infiltration mode, but also capture a glimpse of where the Tau are moving around. Chaos Lord probably doesn't want to engage in this. By the time he catches up with the Tau Fire Warriors, the Tau Commander will bash them up. And if he went for the Tau Commander, then the Fire Warriors will be firing at him. So, a lose-lose situation for the Chaos Lord in that scenario. Also got the pulse shot from the Tau Commander there, taking a good chunk of health off of him. We'll have to fall back as the cultists continue, or should I say, start to finish capturing their side of the map. No one's gone for this critical location on the left-hand side. Now we are seeing some shooty bits on all of these listening posts. DANTIST looking for the big, thick economy. Not planning to do any more unnecessary aggressions. In fact, actually, to be honest, he's only got one squad of Chaos Space Marines, so he's been keeping it light on the infantry department at the moment. Now going to go for a plasma pistol. We'll be able to get an aspiring champion. That will help them in the range department against the Fire Warriors while they're in small number. How effective those plasma pistols will be if there's a mass of Fire Warriors, who is really to say? We've also got those Croot Carnivores that are able to come down on the melee side of things to screen defensive for these. Also, extra 69 health. Way, that is the meme number. We are 10 years old, mentally. Very slowly taking down his listening post. I was expecting it to be a little bit shorter. Here we go, plasma guns firing away. The Tower Commander does not want anything to do with that whatsoever. To reposition behind the Fire Warriors. Recruits now focusing on slapping down the listening post. And Stealth Suit just cheekily going around on the southern side. Much like the Tainted Auspex, which is still here. You know, be able to keep that vision on the go. Cultists have now gone for a couple of grenade launchers, which not only helps them kill the Stealth Suits, but will also help knock around the recruits. You guys going for some as well? No, not at the moment. Got economies 80 and 30, compared to 104 and 20. Tier 2 on the way for Dantist, and Tier 2 has finished for El Bandido. Quite significant tech advantage. I mean, how long does it take to research into Tier 2? About 45 seconds, 60 seconds? Which, when you're playing at the high tiers, makes all the difference. We're all seeing the advanced pulse rifle, so those fire warriors will really start to sting. Also, we're just behind the head of the Titan. Another squad of fire warriors hiding in the midst. Double chasseways on the way for that squad. Same with the Tother squad as well. Another Tainted Auspex for vision purposes, I assume. And the Chaos Space Marines, well, they're going to say, you know what? Have it. Have this element. We don't care. Because there's this place that we can also bash as well. It'll take you forever and a million years to get back over here. So why not? It's not a huge problem losing a listening post. Why is it? It takes about 60 seconds for it to pay for itself. Or 30. It doesn't take a long time. Whenever you build it, it gives you a big boost of blue money. Which more or less halves the cost, really, if you get it done. Listening post over here will be stricken down. And then the listening post on the relic is fair game as well, potentially. Frag grenades have been researched, which will be quite cracking if they can get close to these fire warriors and blast them apart. Group falling behind, we do have a team of Pathfinders as well, which will increase the overall vision and quasi-range of the fire warriors. Also spotting that Tainted Auspex will be quite handy to see if the Pathfinders can lock on toward these Chaos Space Marine squads and the Fire Warriors focus them down with their marked targets and stuff. Although I assume if you've gone for 2 Chaos Space Marine squads, is there going to be a Rhino on the cards for you guys? Purge of the Week, that's always good. Furious Charge for close combat stuff. Raptors on the field for going around the sides and tying up the Fire Warriors on the back lines. No Rhinos, interesting. I assumed that was going to be it, but no, they're going to go for souped-up infantry. I suppose they have put a lot of money into their infantry research, so that would make sense. And having to reposition with a Rhino might not be the most important thing in retrospect, especially since the stealth suit teams, which actually we should really look from the perspective of the tower so we can actually see the stealth suit teams properly. Yeah, they'll be able to use their fusion blasters to break things down. So vehicles might not be the most advantageous thing for them to go for at this present moment in time. No heavy bolters on these guys. Assuming that they are fearing the recruits jumping on top of them. Got some cultists sneaking around on this side. And the Chaos Space Marines move forward. See if they can snag stealth suit team. Managed to get one model down. Not quite what they wanted there. Raptors now being slowed by the snares. The cultists over here also being slowed as well. That's good though. If the Raptors get snared, they can always jump backwards. So maybe that's another reason why he went for the Raptors as well. Oh, we're going to build a machine pit just right out in the open. Fair enough. Okay. I mean, why not? Quick reinforcement rate, I suppose, but it's not that far away from here. As we mentioned in a previous video the other day, you know, these split-second decisions of trying to build something the outside of your base, do you waste 10 seconds coming over here and building it up when you need the vehicles absolutely now? It's catch-22. You get the quicker building, quicker vehicles, but then you've got more stuff to defend. Also going to pop down a plasma generator as well. Here comes the Rhino. And
4 minutes
the Tau have spotted this machine pit. Going to go for second Rhino as well. Fusion blasters, an extra boys in the stealth suit teams. Also a Devilfish troop carrier to ferry these guys around. But with the... I mean, it's interesting he's actually gone for the troop carriers, knowing that the cultists have got their their spooky eyes, whatever you call that ability. And we'll be able to spot them with relative ease. But the Chaos Space Marines are attacking on this side, attacking on that side. So trading 2 points for 1. Although this 1 point does have a lot of stuff. Heretics attempting to repair it, but then also just dying. Oh dear. That's an unfortunate way. Spend your last moments in the mortal realm. Chaos Space Marines jumping out of the Rhino, but then straight up being jumped right back at. But Purge the Weak allows them to absolutely murder those Brute Carnivores. Also, they've got a Sorcerer in their ranks as well. So if they spot something like a stealth suit team that they want to hunker down, or maybe a Pathfinder, you know, something really fragile and small, be able to grab them, take them on. Seems like the cults on left hand side. Oh, you're still knocking around. You're still out and about. Barracuda in the air. No anti-vehicle stuff from the Chaos Space Marines at present. Some smoke grenades been thrown in. I assume it's the Chaos Rhino that's thrown it in. I don't think Tau have got access to smoke grenades themselves. So it will reduce the amount of incoming range damage, which is pretty nice. But absolutely surrounded. Thankfully, the cultists over here are slicing and dicing the Fire Warriors on the left-hand side. Raptors jumping in just to give these boys a little bit of space to maneuver back around. Machine Pit still online, as well as the Plasma Generator. So those Heretics repairing it earlier on certainly did something. Their deaths weren't in vain. I've also got a cultist squad over here that's now been spotted by the Pathfinders. And a squad wipe for those poor lads. Elfish Troop Carrier. Only got 750 health, so it can be killed relatively easily due to concentrated small arms fire, but still a vehicle. And the Tau have now managed to take out that Machine Pit. Raptor still knocking around on the right hand side. What is the plan for the Chaos Space Marines? Just to go for more of their tacticals. Definitely need... I mean, a couple of pink horrors wouldn't go amiss. Do like the addition of that Chaos Sorcerer though, even if he doesn't use any of his spells, just to be able to spot the Devilfish. Got economies 86 and 40, compared to 133 and 50. Chaos Space Marines, they can actually give up a couple of listing posts without being too much affected by the Tau madness and mayhem. But it's coming around on the other side, as well as the Raptors. Tau now getting a taste of their own medicine by being surrounded. And they're trying to retreat. Not in their Delphish troop carriers though. You'd expect them to jump inside and then slowly but surely make their way back home. No, the carrier's been left behind to cover the retreat as they then reposition to open fire at the Raptors, but the Raptors are going to fall back. The troop carrier over here going to finish off the remnants of the Chaos Space Marine base over onto the right hand side. Guess all going to be respawned, a Machine Pit rebuilt and reforged. And they've got plenty of green money to make use of for their future vehicles. I assume a replacement Rhino is on order. Double Chaos Rhinos. We have seen it before on the channel. Sometimes people will send in a fake Rhino just off in one direction, and the opposing player just assumes it's full of infantry, so they'll go back and try and fight it. But when they eventually kill it, realise it's empty. And then there's a secondary Chaos Rhino that comes out. Lads, we're not seeing it today. All just popping out, focusing on the Barracudas. So I've got quite... When I say weak vehicles, I don't mean weak as in power-wise, I mean as in they're easy to break down because they're low health relative to the health of other factions' vehicles. But cultists spot the troop carrier, the Raptors following in hot pursuit. And good lord, those cultists are just so annoying to listen to. More carriers on the way. They're also remarkably cheap at 50 blue and 75 green. You never go wrong with having them. Relatively low money. Chaos Space Marines now making their way over onto the left hand side, taking out the listing post. That was quite the push from the Tau. Managed to take him all the way down to his base. But the Chaos Space Marines are able to defend. Right now seeing some flanking manoeuvres, but being pestered and bothered by the cultists. I think these cultists really are the MVPs of the match. Quite often, the stealth suit teams are a real nuisance for a lot of factions just because they can reposition and be all stealthy and stuff. The cultists are everywhere and their eyes are glowing. Plenty of plasma guns going on here. Purge the Weak activated. They have been targeted by the Pathfinders as the Southern Squad. Not been able to make much use of it. I think they're a little bit out of range of those Fire Warriors there. Stealth suits being absolutely kit-and-fisted on the left-hand side. One lonely stealth suit just taking pot shots off at the Chaos Space Marine squad here, but will be taken down, much like his comrades on the left. And I don't know how these troop carriers are working. They don't seem to be taking out the majority of the Chaos Space Marines. What are you going to go for? You're going to go for some more Pathfinders. Surprised that we're not seeing any Scar-Ray missile gunships with the amount of infantry that we're seeing here. A couple of big blues coming in just to knock these guys around. Well, I suppose DANTIST does have quite decent micro, so when you do see those blues coming in, it doesn't take a lot of effort to move your infantry away. It does give you quite a long time to react as well. So maybe that's why we're not seeing it here. Chaos Sorcerer still very healthy, so the infiltration on those troop carriers aren't going to be helping them all that much. More stealth suit teams on the way as the cultists and the Hell Talon attempt to take on Listening First. Barracuda firing away and taking down that Hell Talon there. But Tau now massively on the defensive. They've got quite a lot of money saved up. But what else could they go for? I mean, they've already got the jumping upgrade for the crew. Would that be an idea? They've got plenty of fire support for the Fire Warriors. I don't know. No, probably not. The heavy bolters would be able to rip them apart quite quickly. You'd need at least 2 or 3 crew to be able to get into close combat in any kind of substantial manner. And the Tau probably don't want to be wasting all that money, especially when tier 3 time is probably on the cards at some point. Yeah, tier 3 soon to be coming in for DANTIST. And the Tau economy in shatters at the moment. But they are just taking little engagements here and there, not fully committing to things. I do quite like that. They got the attention on the left hand side, brought some lads over on the right hand side. But so long as DANTIST keeps all his boys in one kind of place, doesn't try and do I don't know, 2 different engagements at one, keeps all his boys together, that should be over. Oh no, he's doing exactly what I said don't do, because now there's less firepower over here. Tau might be able to capitalise on, in theory. They would come around, maybe potentially on this side. Oh no, they might be able to take out at least 1 squad of Chaos Space Marines on their own. They are going to fall back there. Now, even with the lack of 1 squad of Chaos Space Marines, don't seem to be pushing in too far. Chiron Command Post is being built up, so tier 3 for the Tau. The Defiler, which, I mean, gosh, I love the Night Lord colour scheme. Really, really nice, especially on a Defiler. The gold trimmings, the dark blue centre, the red highlights. Very nice stuff. Very nice stuff indeed. But it's a standstill, boys and girls. No one wants to engage anyone else. We are seeing the cultists just coming over here just to have a little check-up and see what's going on. Chaos Space Marines don't seem to have enough power to push right on through. But it's not without risking their fighting forces. Cultist squad about to be blasted to pieces. Full squad wipe there. I suppose maybe that also opens up the Chaos Space Marines to have more units. There we go. Obliterated squad. Yep, sacrifice the cultists for bigger and badder Chaos Infantry. And tier 3 is really where the Chaos Space Marines shine, in my opinion. You get the Obliterators, you get the Possessed squad. And sometimes, I've seen on the channel before, that just those 2 squads alone, with maybe some mild Defiler or Hell Talon support, can kind of win games, even against a fully substantial late-game army from a lot of other factions. Well, micro-depending, of course.
4 minutes until taking hold victory.
Chaos Space Marines barely outside the base. They've also got that decapping on both the blue points and the critical locations. So the Tau are in quite the bind. And Chaos like, right, yep, you know what? We don't need to come and get you. We're going to win this anyway. So either you come out and play ball, or sod yourself. Okuda flies over, spots a heavy bolter turret, which has been upgraded to a missile turret. He's like, no thank you. Here comes the Obliterators on the left-hand side. Tacticals in the middle with cultist support. And that is just a lot of bodies inside the base all of a sudden. Quite a tricky scenario for the Tau here. And that, boys and girls, looks like that's the game. So, cracking show from both players here. Yeah, it was really tricky for the Tau there. Early game, you know, those Kroots and the wombo combo of the Tau Fire Warriors and the Tau Commander combined together, takes on the Cultists, takes on Chaos Lord and a couple of Chaos Space Marines, maybe with some Barracuda support as well. We're doing a really, really grand job there. But, I mean, the Chaos Space Marines, at some point, they just got that critical mass of Marines. Where no matter how much plasma fire was coming in, they were able to stand firm. And every time they were taking too much damage, you just jump them into the Chaos Rhino, move them a little bit to the side, pop them back out again when they're ready, and start firing away. Heavy bolter turrets also help them achieve some DPS parity with those Fire Warriors as well. And yeah, the Cultists, man. Cultists just been able to, every time a stealth suit team came along to start shimming and shaking some of these listing posts on the flanks and stuff, well, the Cultists were there. And they were ready to just basically slap them down and say, no, thank you, you go back home. And that was it, really. So yeah, so cheers, boys and girls, for watching at home. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you 1 game a week. And there is also a Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. I've been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short, and I will see you in a bit. Peace.